Does the married state appear somewhat monotonous to you? Is it uninteresting? A touch too tranquil? No. I have witnessed enduring unions that were captivating and others that were decidedly not. Do you cherish them? Pardon me. Do you hold affection for me? We all recall him as Jack from the film Titanic, youthful, audacious, and utterly enamored. However, Leonardo DiCaprio transcends that indelible portrayal. Over the years, he has ascended to become one of Hollywood's preeminent figures. Oscars, blockbuster films, red carpet appearances, he has accomplished it all. Yet, while his professional trajectory soared, his personal life remained intricate, particularly concerning matters of the heart. At the age of 50, Leo has courted supermodels, disengaged from significant commitments, and skirted a singular, persistent question: why has he never taken the marital step? Well, the anticipation has concluded. For the very first time, DiCaprio is finally articulating the genuine rationale behind his lifelong decision. Accompany us as we delve into his personal journey and reveal the unvarnished truth as to why Leonardo DiCaprio declares he will never be one to walk down the aisle. From a modest dwelling in Los Angeles to widespread acclaim, Leonardo DiCaprio entered the world on November 11, 1974, in Los Angeles, California. He was the sole offspring of Malene, who served as a legal secretary, and George DiCaprio, an artist. They encountered one another during their university years and subsequently relocated to Los Angeles following their graduation. Leonardo received his moniker when his mother felt his first stirrings within her while gazing upon a painting by Leonardo da Vinci in an Italian gallery. When Leonardo was merely an infant, his parents parted ways. George had developed affections for another woman and moved out, but both parents remained committed to his upbringing. Thus, they resided in adjacent homes connected by a shared garden. George continued to live with his girlfriend and her son, Adam Ferrer. Leonardo formed a close bond with Adam and looked up to him. As Leonardo matured, he and his mother relocated throughout Los Angeles, including a district known as Los Feliz. Leonardo once characterized his parents as exceedingly bohemian. He also recounted that he was raised in a challenging environment, surrounded by instances of crime and hardship. Nevertheless, he consistently held his parents in high regard and trusted them implicitly. He attended several educational institutions, including the Los Angeles Center for Enriched Studies and John Marshall High School. However, Leonardo found the conventional schooling experience unenjoyable. His true aspiration was to perform, harboring ambitions that extended far beyond the confines of the classroom. As a child, Leonardo harbored dreams of becoming either a marine biologist or an actor. He ultimately chose acting because he relished the act of performance. He found pleasure in imitating individuals, contorting his facial expressions, and observing the reactions of others. His passion for performing ignited at an early age. He shared that it commenced when he was merely 2 years old and performed a dance at a festival, eliciting smiles from the audience. Leonardo's interest intensified when he witnessed his stepbrother Adam receive payment for a television commercial. That particular engagement yielded Adam $50,000, and Leo recognized the potential that lay before him. He later attempted to participate in the children's program Romper Room, but he states he was dismissed for being overly disruptive. The host, however, has disputed this account. At one juncture, Leonardo nearly abandoned his pursuit of acting to concentrate on breakdancing, having secured second place in a competition held in Germany. By the age of 14, he secured his inaugural professional engagement, a commercial for Matchbox cars. This opportunity opened subsequent doors, and before long, he appeared in advertisements for Kraft Singles, Apple Jacks, and Bubble Yum. However, achieving this was not without its struggles. He dedicated 1.5 years to the arduous task of finding representation. One agent even advised him to alter his surname to Lenny Williams to convey a more American persona. He declined this suggestion. With the steadfast support of his father, he persevered. Eventually, a family confidant assisted him in gaining recognition from casting directors, and shortly thereafter, Leo participated in approximately 20 commercials, commencing with humble beginnings, yet envisioning grand aspirations. Leonardo's initial significant acting role materialized in 1989. He portrayed Glenn in 2 episodes of The New Lassie. Following this, he secured several minor parts, including appearances in Santa Barbara and a series titled The Outsiders. His breakthrough arrived when he joined the television program Parenthood, portraying Gary Buckman, a troubled adolescent. He approached the role with earnestness, drawing inspiration from the performance of River Phoenix in the original film. His contributions to Parenthood and Santa Barbara garnered him 2 nominations for the Young Artist Awards. Contemporaneously, he featured on a game show named Funhouse, where he was tasked with executing amusing challenges, such as catching a fish with his teeth. Even as a nascent performer, Leo exhibited boundless energy and an unyielding readiness to entertain. In 1991, Leonardo made his cinematic debut in Critters 3, a horror film. He later quipped that it was among the least accomplished films ever produced and not a project he held in high esteem. In that same year, he embodied Luke Brower, an impoverished youth, in the television series Growing Pains. The producers enlisted him with the objective of attracting a younger demographic, particularly female viewers. Actress Joanna Kearns remarked that Leonardo was intelligent, playful, and inclined to engage in jesting. Although the viewership figures did not improve, Leo still received another award nomination for his portrayal, earning him considerable respect within Hollywood. In 1992, Leo had a fleeting appearance in Poison Ivy. However, something far more significant followed. He was selected by Robert De Niro to star in This Boy's Life, a film based on the true narrative of author Tobias Wolff. Leo depicted Toby, a troubled teenager navigating a challenging relationship with his stepfather, played by De Niro himself. It was an arduous role, and Leo had a substantial amount to learn. Director Michael Cotton-Jones commented that Leo initially lacked the requisite skills for acting on an actual film set, leading him to adopt a stringent pedagogical approach. Leo embraced these lessons with utmost seriousness. The motion picture garnered critical acclaim, particularly for Leo's skillful depiction of his character's development. Reviewers were impressed, and This Boy's Life became the film that initiated widespread recognition for him. However, his journey was far from over. Merely a year later, he delivered a compelling performance in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, where he portrayed a young man with developmental challenges. That particular role earned him his inaugural Academy Award nomination. Audiences were captivated by the authentic and emotionally resonant nature of his acting. Leonardo continued his upward ascent. He starred in the romantic features Romeo plus Juliet in 1996 and Titanic in 1997. Both proved to be monumental successes, with Titanic, in particular, becoming the highest-grossing film of that era. It propelled him to the status of a global phenomenon. Abruptly, Leonardo DiCaprio became a household name. Admirers adored him, but he harbored no desire to be perpetually confined to portraying romantic archetypes. Consequently, he took a hiatus and returned with a redefined strategy. He was intent on exploring diverse characterizations. In 2002, he appeared in Catch Me If You Can and Gangs of New York. The latter film marked his inaugural collaboration with director Martin Scorsese. Their subsequent joint ventures resulted in numerous films, establishing them as a formidable creative partnership. Leo consistently embraced demanding roles. He portrayed a disquieted businessman in The Aviator, 2004, a diamond smuggler in Blood Diamond, 2006, and a police officer in The Departed, 2006. Each role unveiled a new facet of his talent. In 2008, he depicted a married man in Revolutionary Road. His performances were consistently profound and intense. Throughout the decade of the 2000s, he maintained his impressive momentum. He starred in Inception, Django Unchained, and The Wolf of Wall Street. In 2015, he finally achieved his aspiration of winning an Oscar for The Revenant, a film in which he portrayed a frontiersman engaged in a desperate struggle for survival. Subsequently, he appeared in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Don't Look Up. Most recently, he featured in Killers of the Flower Moon in 2023. Beyond the confines of the cinematic realm, Leonardo's endeavors extended beyond mere acting. He established a production entity named Appian Way Productions. This company was instrumental in producing many of his films and a television series entitled Greensburg. He also garnered significant attention for another cause, environmental advocacy. He established the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation to heighten public consciousness regarding ecological issues. In 2005, France bestowed upon him a distinguished honor, appointing him a commander of the Order of Arts and Letters in recognition of his contributions to the arts. Furthermore, in 2016, Time magazine recognized him as one of the 100 most influential individuals globally. He was also designated a United Nations Messenger of Peace. This role entails him advocating for global causes, with a particular emphasis on climate change. Over time, he evolved into an emblem of leveraging influence for a greater purpose. In 2022, his admirers voted him among the 50 most accomplished actors of all time in a poll conducted by Empire readers. However, beneath the veneer of fame and achievement, one persistent query lingered in the minds of many. Why has Leonardo DiCaprio never entered into matrimony? This question shadowed him persistently. And now, at the age of 50, Leo is finally prepared to furnish an answer. But to fully grasp the context, let us undertake a more detailed examination of his relationships from their inception. The actor who has been linked with the world's most celebrated women. Leonardo DiCaprio has consistently commanded media attention, whether for his cinematic work or his personal romantic life. Ever since his meteoric rise to stardom following Titanic, the public has exhibited considerable curiosity regarding his romantic entanglements. Throughout the years, he has been associated with numerous prominent women, predominantly models and actresses. Indeed, this has become a discernible pattern. One of the earliest figures linked to him was Bridget Hall. She was a highly sought-after Victoria's Secret model during the 1990s. The pair were frequently observed together at various events around 1994. Although they remained reticent on the subject, it was widely believed that she was Leo's inaugural girlfriend from the modeling profession. Subsequently, Naomi Campbell emerged, another renowned model. Their purported romance unfolded in the mid-1990s. While it was of short duration, it is noteworthy that they maintained a close friendship. Even years later, they have been observed vacationing together and attending charitable functions. In 2015, the rapper 50 Cent shared a photograph with the caption, "No longer numbing myself with smoking, drinking, and too much work. I was becoming more and more aware of things that I'd chosen not to look at. Was I alone in wanting to do some serious soul-searching while he stayed the same?" Ultimately, regrettably, the answer was affirmative. Giselle later wed NFL star Tom Brady and established a family. Yet her time with Leo remains a significant chapter in his well-documented romantic history. Further models and a select few celebrated personalities followed. Next came Bar Refaeli, another prominent figure in the modeling industry. The two met at a gathering in Las Vegas and engaged in an on-again, off-again relationship for 5 years. They were even observed occupying courtside seats at a Lakers game in 2010. Their relationship concluded in May 2011. In a magazine interview, Refaeli shared that the separation facilitated her personal growth, stating, "I came to understand a lot of things about myself. I worked on myself, and I grew up. I never truly understood what it meant to be on my own. Today, I realize that a partnership can only succeed if you are comfortable with your solitude and unafraid of it. He is a remarkable individual and a friend of mine. I extend my sincerest well wishes to him. Leo is truly extraordinary, but I harbor concerns about his potential reaction to me discussing our connection with you. We made a solemn promise to keep the specifics of our relationship confidential." I recently browsed some comments on my Instagram, and honestly, the level of animosity and vitriol directed at individuals they know absolutely nothing about is astounding. Living without animosity is a profoundly positive experience. Many relationships throughout history, both in Hollywood and globally, have featured significant age differences. I firmly believe that everyone should have the freedom to date whomever they choose. However, I must admit, I would likely find it intriguing as well. A poignant detail emerged when she shared a photograph of herself at Koh Phi Phi Le in Thailand, the very island where DiCaprio filmed The Beach in 1999. Although the couple attended the 2020 Oscars separately, they were seated adjacent to each other within the venue. By August of 2022, reports indicated that they had mutually decided to part ways. After a 5-year tenure together, Leo and Camila concluded their relationship. Nevertheless, this did not signal an end to public speculation regarding Leo's romantic entanglements. The chapter involving Gigi Hadid. Following DiCaprio's separation from Camila, all attention shifted towards Gigi Hadid. Rumors began circulating with remarkable speed. with people asserting that the two were secretly involved. Paparazzi relentlessly tracked their every movement, and headlines proliferated. However, individuals close to Leo eventually offered clarification. One source confided in the Daily Mail that they had briefly explored a romantic connection some time ago to ascertain any potential chemistry, but ultimately found none. This source elaborated that Leo and Gigi had maintained a friendship for an extended period, but no romantic development ensued. Furthermore, they clarified that their relationship was not an open one without any emotional attachments. The public, they suggested, should simply move past this. Neither Leo nor Gigi has ever publicly addressed these rumors. Gigi is now in a relationship with actor Bradley Cooper. So, was there any genuine substance to the connection between Leo and Gigi? According to those acquainted with them, the answer is no. It was purely platonic. Yet, with DiCaprio, narratives invariably tend to expand. His personal life has remained precisely that, personal. Even under intense public scrutiny, he seldom discusses his romantic partners or his deliberate approach to maintaining discretion. However, recently, one individual has emerged as particularly significant, someone who seems to represent more than just another fleeting headline. After a series of brief liaisons and understated breakups, DiCaprio's most recent romantic involvement has captured public attention for a distinct reason: Leonardo DiCaprio and Victoria Soretti. In 2023, Leonardo DiCaprio was initially linked to Victoria, a renowned model from Italy. The pair reportedly first encountered each other during the premiere of *3 at the Cannes Film Festival in May. Shortly thereafter, they were observed spending time together in Nida, which further fueled speculation about a romantic relationship. Victoria, who commenced her modeling career at the tender age of 14, has collaborated with prominent fashion houses such as Versace, Gucci, Balenciaga, and Alexander McQueen. She has been an established figure in the fashion industry for years, carving out a significant reputation for herself. Prior to her association with DiCaprio, she was married to Italian DJ Matteo Milleri, but their union concluded in 2023. Following her divorce, her connection with DiCaprio appeared to progress rapidly. By August of 2023, the couple was photographed vacationing together in Sardinia, Italy. Subsequent sightings continued to emerge: Halloween parties, a Rolling Stones concert in Las Vegas, a visit to Art Basel in Miami, and even DiCaprio's 49th birthday celebration in Los Angeles. In September, Page Six published photographs of DiCaprio and Soretti in the company of his mother. This particular occasion led many to believe that their relationship was escalating in seriousness. When an individual is introduced to a person's family, speculation naturally arises about the potential for a lasting commitment. However, as is often the case with Leonardo DiCaprio, the situation is rarely straightforward. Insider perspectives on marriage. Although Victoria and Leo appear to genuinely enjoy each other's company, insiders suggest that marriage is not on the horizon for him. According to sources, despite his deep affection for her, DiCaprio does not feel compelled to formalize anything through matrimony. A source confided in Page Six, stating, "Leo doesn't envision himself ever getting married. He doesn't feel the need to tie the knot to make things official in his eyes." They further added that he greatly values his time with Soretti and cherishes their relationship, but the prospect of becoming a husband is not something he foresees for himself. This revelation might not be universally well received. Another insider commented that Victoria is actively pursuing the goal of becoming Mrs. DiCaprio. She is not merely another girlfriend. She is investing in the relationship across all dimensions. She is demonstrating a profound commitment to understanding and cherishing him on every level. She is far from being a superficial companion, the source told In Touch Weekly. They also shared an insightful observation. She is handling this situation with considerable skill, as Leo possesses a distinctively intellectual side, and anyone aiming for a long-term presence in his life must be supportive of that aspect. Therefore, while Leo is recognized for his cool, sophisticated Hollywood persona, it appears he also harbors a more reserved, personal dimension. And Soretti may very well be the type of woman who appreciates and compliments that. Nevertheless, if her aspiration is marriage, insiders indicate that this might be a challenge she cannot overcome. No ring, but numerous public appearances. Public conjecture intensified when Victoria was observed wearing a diamond ring. Some admirers interpreted this as a sign that Leo had proposed, but this was not the case. The ring had been a part of her personal jewelry collection since 2022, predating her encounter with DiCaprio. Despite this, fans humorously commented online that perhaps Leo was finally ready to settle down. Approaching 50, he might have realized it was finally time to commit. LOL, one individual quipped. However, according to those close to him, marriage remains an undesired prospect for DiCaprio. This sentiment is not new. He has been romantically involved with numerous high-profile women, including Gisele Bündchen, Bar Raffaelli, and Camila Morrone. On no occasion has he come close to marriage. Each time a relationship deepened, some obstacle invariably arose. Even as he approaches his 50s, this pattern persists. His relationship with Victoria Soretti may be exceptional, and indeed, it has endured longer than many anticipated, but this does not portend an impending wedding. And for those who ponder the possibility of fatherhood in his future, well, that's an entirely separate discussion. Reaching 50 and contemplating the future. Leonardo DiCaprio celebrated his 50th birthday on November 11, 2024. This marks a significant milestone for anyone. And for an individual who has been under the public spotlight for an extended period, questions about what lies ahead are naturally raised. Surprisingly, DiCaprio has expressed that fatherhood is still something he desires. In a recent interview, he remarked, "5. Leo's genuine passion lies in acting. Relationships frequently take a secondary position as he fully immerses himself in each role, a dedication that has contributed to his immense success. This has been the observable pattern for years. He dates younger women, enjoying his time with them. However, as situations begin to grow more serious, his focus inevitably shifts back to his professional pursuits. There is one consensus, however. Leonardo DiCaprio is an actor of profound dedication. In his early career, he collaborated with Robert De Niro on the film This Boy's Life. That experience fundamentally altered his perspective on acting. DiCaprio once shared with The Guardian, "I watched his performance, recognized the caliber of actor he was, and told myself, I will never squander this opportunity." And he certainly never did. That same commitment has propelled him to the pinnacle of Hollywood. It may also be the very factor that has prevented him from settling down. Therefore, while fans and the media persistently inquire about when DiCaprio will finally marry, the answer might very well be never. He is content with Victoria and cherishes their time together, but in his view, marriage is simply not a necessity. What are your thoughts on Leonardo DiCaprio's personal life? Do you believe he will ever reconsider his stance on marriage? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. And remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more compelling narratives from the captivating history of Hollywood. We'll see you next time.